Welcome to this episode of the $1 Million Mastermind. I'm Larry Weidel, and before we get started, if you want to know exactly how to win again and again, go to weidelonwinning.com/webinar now to watch something I've put together for you. Now let's get going into this episode of $1 Million Mastermind. I am talking this afternoon with Bobby McIver. And he's the author of The Heart of the Game. He's coached golf. He's been a golf pro and has coached since 1971, and learned a lot of lessons about winning, coaching, and excelling in life. And what you learn in one area about excelling, that's information you can use in any other area of your life once you get mentally organized around what it takes for you, to bounce up and to be successful, and what you got to bring to the program for you to come out, maximize your odds of success, because success is never guaranteed, is it, Bobby?
No, and life's a roller coaster. It's on the top of the mountain, what was ABC, the thrill of victory and agony of defeat. ABC's, Wide World of Sports, I'm sure you remember that.
Right.
And I don't know, Bobby Jones once said, if anything's worth doing, it's worth doing well. And that's very true. I mean, I've never cared anything about wanting to learn how to play bridge, because if I did, I'd want to be good and I'd be spending too much time at it. I just try to major in majors and not major in minors, and, have a few things I want to do well. Like right now I'm raising belted Galloway cows, and we're trying to produce the best 28-day dry age beef that we can possibly do on this farm here. And I still do my golf, but, even these inner game principles apply to everything. And that inner game of tennis is worth people going to the bookstore and getting.
How'd you get in the cow business, and what intrigues you about that, and what kind of success have you had?
Well, I left the club, last club job in 2000. We returned to our family farm that was on my mother's side. My family's owned this place since 1807. And I grew up out here on this farm, and we grew tobacco and had livestock, and my parents never encouraged me to farm because we didn't have enough land. It's not hard to make a living. And I was exposed to everything, but I didn't go to college to study agriculture or livestock management. So I actually came back here and didn't know what I was doing, to tell you the truth. And but my wife and I decided to buy these belted Galloway cows that are cool looking, and they're a hybrid breed from Scotland, and their meat is, there's several restaurants in London that only serve belted Galloway beef. It's more of a breed from the British Isles, Scotland and England. You see a lot of herds over there. But we've only had 23 cows, and we took some of the processor Saturday and delivered them to the customers. And it's not requiring my full-time attention, but I've had to do a good bit of study, and my son Rob's interested in it. And we sold the farm to him last summer, so he actually owns it. But, he's enthusiastic about the cows. And we have a guest cottage here that's on Airbnb, and between the two, we're able to do the things we want to do. We take some trips and play a little golf and spend time with our friends and enjoying life. I'm 73 years old, and I don't think I'll ever fully retire. I've got to be doing something. And again, if we're going to do the cows, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing well. So we do the best we can with it.
Well, the thing is to stay inspired too. And I know that when you get people to write down their goals, that kind of turns on their inner motivation of like, what do I want to do? How bad do I want to do it? And until that inner fire is lit, you're going to be like trying to pull them somewhere they don't want to go. They're like dead weight. But once they get lit up, now they're ready to listen, basically to pay attention. And my grandfather, we'd go there in the summers, and see my grandfather work on the cows. I won't get into too much detail, but every now and then he'd pull out a 2x4 and whack one of them on the head. And the grandkids would say, "What are you doing that for, Granddaddy?" He said, "Well, it appeared that one I needed to do something to get his attention." Hey, listen, there's a lot of information online, but there aren't a lot of people who've actually done something. In my case, I've actually built a successful business that's accrued over $5 billion in assets under management and has done well even during trying times. Now, if you want to know exactly how I've done this, go to whitelmwinning.com/webinar now. I've compressed a decade of learning into 5 short weeks just for those of you who want to give yourself an incredible advantage and are tired of waiting and watching others move up.
Yeah. Columbia, Tennessee, where we live, is called the mule capital of the world. And my ancestors, they used to raise mules and sell to federal government, and, they even shipped some overseas. But, when the gasoline engine came in the, like in 1919, my grandfather started raising tobacco because the mule trade had played out. But a mule is definitely stubborn. And, they say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. If a mule decides it's not going to do something, they're more stubborn. But it's, I don't know. I get what you're saying, but cows are pretty, they're a little different. I've never had to even think about making a cow do what I wanted to do.
Yeah, just put hay out there.
Yeah, if they see my truck, they come. Yeah. We'll give them some alfalfa cubes or something.
A little food and
put the minerals out there. They got to have their minerals.
Problem solved. And as you have gone through all of these years yourself, you've had to do things to keep yourself from turning into bored with what you're doing. You're doing the same thing with coaching and this, that, and the other. You've evolved over the years. Now you're in a situation where you've got, you made a move, you could have gotten stale, but you're still following your curiosity, your instincts. And how did you even stumble across these cows that are out of London and things like that? Somewhere around, or?
We're actually from Scotland, but we were at the Greenville Country Club in South Carolina, and we were leaving, and a guy came up to me, and he said, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "Well, I'm going back to the farm. I'll probably raise a few cows." He said, "Well, my wife's brother-in-law is in Hartsville, Tennessee, and he raised this unusual breed of cows called Belted Galloway." And he said, "You might ought to think about that. They have real good meat." And so I looked the guy up, and I guess within a half hour, I bought 7 bred cows. Registered cows. They cost a little more than the Angus and stuff. But I don't know if you've ever seen one. You stop and think about it. They're solid black with a big white belt around their stomach, and they're called the most photographed cow in the world. And if people stop here on the side, pull in our farm, we'll take pictures of these cows. But they're not that much trouble, and the beef's good, and my wife Ruth's involved in it too. So, sort of a family affair. And now Rob's interested in it. Yeah.
And what would you say, if anything, you've learned from that experience that is a surprise?
Well, I think the main thing is I started and I didn't know what I was doing. I had no training whatsoever. And so I had to really learn it. And I learned it from people, like go to the co-op and run into some guy that, you wouldn't, say, well, ask him a question. I need to know, how you make this hay go farther in the winter and or people come out here, sell me things, the minerals. But I learned from talking to farmers. I don't learn by calling professors of agriculture at the University of Tennessee. They're the last people I talked to. I don't know that's the right way to go, but
of course,
there's people in this community that know stuff about cows that I can get all the help I need.
Yeah. And You know, we used to say that keeping yourself motivated and inspired is the hardest job you have uh, because, things get old after a while, and we all like new things. And here you've taken, do you think, I don't even know if you've even thought about this, has your background in learning how to teach people golf help you make that kind of transition uh, to get into another activity and get uh, pretty competent at it, pretty enthused about it?
I think that, learning from the inner game applies to everything.
So explain that.
I just think that, like you said, you have to maintain a good attitude. You have to be willing to. I've had cows die, that I should have paid attention, known they were sick, and got the vet out here earlier. So I've made some mistakes. You just take it one day at a time. In golf, you play one hole at a time. The last hole's over with. Matter of fact, it's just one shot at a time. And so today, we just got back from, taking meat to the processor and delivering food to customers. And so we're providing a community service here. We're part of the farm to table movement. And so we enjoy that. We think it's beneficial. We think the meat's healthier and tastes better. And we have the socialization, dealing with people that, want to buy this meat.
Have you got up to the point where you've got a website and people can order online, or have you got that far along yet?
No, we just sell in bulk. We keep it simple. People have to have a freezer and they buy a side of beef. That's a half. In this day and age, people that say that somebody was telling me Walmart ran out of ground beef last week. And so my wife's trying to give me a note here, but anyway, we just enjoy the quiet life out here. We can see as many people as we want to, or we can enjoy, having a quiet afternoon together.
If you enjoyed what you've heard and are dead serious about finding out for yourself exactly how this works in the real world, I've taken the most valuable business lessons I've learned over 40 years and put them into something for you to watch. Go to whiteelemwinning.com/webinar now in order to move up as fast as possible. I'm Larry Weidel, and I run the $1 Million Mastermind. Go, go, go.